We'll start our music. Thank you everyone for joining us today for our 80s core stability. Today our workout is seated. So once you get in that seated, comfortable position, we're gonna go ahead and just take a nice few deep breaths in. I know we're gonna get some cooling breaths down with some high energy music, but we'll start out that way. Hands down at your sides, palms are facing forward, feet are flat on the floor. We're gonna take nice deep breaths in through your nose, holding at the top, and exhale. We'll do two more here. Last one. And on your next one, we're gonna go ahead and bring our arms into it, bring our arms out and up overhead, holding at the top, and exhaling, we're gonna bring our arms back down to our sides. On the inhale, hands go out and up overhead. And exhale, bring it down to our sides. Last one, deep breath in. Holding at the top and exhaling. We're gonna go ahead and hold this nice seated posture for a few seconds. Again, hands down at your sides, palms are facing forward, feet flat on the floor. When we're sitting nice and tall, we wanna pretend there's a line from our head to our tailbone. So we're sitting nice and tall, shoulders are back, chest is forward, belly button is tucked in towards our spine. Taking nice deep breaths in through here, just practicing holding our posture. We're gonna be working on our core stabilizing muscles today. Our core helps us with our everyday movements and keeps us seated nice and straight, protecting our back. Go ahead and shake those arms out. We're gonna bring it into some seated marching. Bringing our right knee up towards our chest, lowering it down. Bringing our left knee up towards our chest and lowering it down. Alternating here. You can bring your arms into it, hands in gentle fists, elbows are bent. You are gonna push your arms forward and back in opposition to your leg. Right arm goes forward when your left leg goes up. Go ahead and march at your own pace. Starting nice and slow. We're just warming up our body. Nice job, nice marches here. Starting to increase that heart rate a little bit. Getting some movement into our full body here. Throughout our workout, make sure that we're taking nice deep breaths. This is your workout. Make sure you're staying hydrated, taking breaks as needed, modifying as you need, challenging yourself as you can. All right, and relax. We're gonna go ahead and bring it into our shoulders. Hands are gonna rest on top of our thighs. Shoulders are gonna come up towards our ears, forward, down towards the floor, and back for our forward shoulder rolls. We want to loosen up our shoulders as we're using our arms a lot today. Taking these nice and slow, stretching out all of those spots that feel good. And switching directions, bringing our shoulders up towards our ears, back behind us, dropping them down and forward. Nice job. One more. And shake it out. We're gonna bring our arms into a W position for our W's. I like to start with my hands straight up overhead, wrists in line with shoulders, and then I'm gonna bend at the elbows, bringing my hands a little bit back. We are gonna squeeze at the shoulder blades here. Bringing our elbows back, trying to pinch a pencil with our shoulder blades along our spine, and release. Our arms are gonna go forward. This is a small movement. We are just engaging those shoulder muscles, holding them back, and releasing. Your arms can be in that perfect goal arm, or goalpost arms, if you would like, or cactus arms, or you can have those hands a little bit wider for a wider W, dropping those elbows a little bit lower. You can definitely go anywhere that is comfortable for you and your body. I like to have my elbows a little bit higher to start, working out different parts of our shoulder. So find that spot that works for you, and go ahead. Nice squeezes, holding it for a second and releasing. Again, it's a small movement here. And we'll give our shoulders a break and shake it on out. Bringing it into our neck, we'll stretch it out to start. Bringing our chin down to our chest. rolling it over to the left and holding it there for a few seconds, stretching out the right side of our neck here. Now when you're ready, bring your chin back down to your chest, rolling it across to the right, bringing your right ear towards your right shoulder, stretching out the left side of our neck. And rolling back and forth at a pace that's right for you. Nice work. Sitting nice and tall, we'll bring it into our cat-cows. Hands are going to go onto our knees, arms are straight out in front of us. For our cat, we are going to take a nice deep breath in. Our chin is going to go to our chest. Our spine is going to go backwards, so we're rounding our backs. Feeling that stretch all through our backs. On our exhale, we're going to push our chest forward. Head goes up and pushing through our arms. Inhale. Taking a nice deep breath in. Spine goes back, chin goes to chest, belly button goes back. Exhale, pushing our chest through, our belly button goes forward, our head comes up. Taking these at a pace that's right for you, stretching out our back and our chest. More. And relax. We're going to go ahead and do torso rotation. So you can do this a few different ways. Your hands can be in front of you. You can hold your elbows kind of like you're going to be cradling a baby. You can have your arms out in a T formation, extending your arms out right and left at shoulder height, whatever is right for you. And we'll go ahead and just rotate our upper body, twisting all the way to the left. But we want to make sure if our arms are extended out in that T formation that they stay that way. And then we're going to twist across to the right. We're keeping our hips facing forward, our knees are forward, we're just rotating at our chest and our torso here, getting some slight spine mobility. Our workout's going to look a little bit different today. We are going to have 4 flows, working on some different muscles in our core and our stabilizers. As we do that, we're going to do each exercise for about 30 seconds to a minute. And there's about 5 exercises per flow, and we'll try to go through it twice. We'll see what time allots for, but we'll go ahead and try to keep that flow for today. Alrighty, shaking it on out. I'm gonna grab a sip of water before we go into our first flow. Alrighty, our first flow is gonna work on our core stabilization muscles. Our first move is going to be seated knee lifts and holds. So just like our seated marches, we're going to bring our right knee up towards our chest. We're going to hold it at the top for a few seconds, lower it back to the floor, bring our left knee up as high as we can towards our chest, hold it for a few seconds, and lower it. As you're doing this, remember to stay nice and tall, sit nice and tall. I like to put my hands on my hips. It reminds me to sit nice and tall, doing what is best for you. Again, just alternating those marches, but holding at the top. Nice work, everyone. Keep it going. A few more seconds here. Next up, we'll be bringing it into seated dead bugs. We're going to go ahead and lean back a little bit. Our heels are going to go onto the floor. Our toes are going to be pointed up, but our legs aren't extended. They're just right in front of us. Our arms are going to extend out in front of us at shoulder height. Our right arm is going to go up overhead. So bringing our right arm up so our wrist is in line with our shoulder. We're going to extend our left leg out in front of us. Bring it back down to the floor, heel on the ground. Extending our left arm up overhead. Extending our right leg. So opposite arm, opposite leg, bringing that arm back, extending the opposite leg. Taking these at a pace that is best for you. You are going to lean back a little bit here so that you're feeling that in your core. For our seated dead bugs. Nice work, everyone. A few more seconds here. And rest. Go ahead and put your hands on your knees. Your feet are back flat on the floor. We're gonna go ahead and push into our knees with our arms. As we do that, we're gonna push up on our hands with our knees. So bringing our heels up off the floor, pressing into our arms. You feel that engagement in your core. You're gonna hold that, pressing down on your knees and up on your hands. So we're engaging that core for a few seconds, and then you're gonna release. Again, hands are on our knees, pressing up with our knees, pushing down on our hands so that we're really engaging that core, and release. Doing these at a pace again, right for you, holding as long as you would like. I'm holding for about 3 to 5 seconds for each one before releasing. For our isometric holds here. Nice work, everyone. One more. And rest. Go ahead and put your hands, extending them out in front of you. We are going to be doing push and pull. So our arms are extended out in front of us. We're going to pull or put our hands in gentle fists like we're pulling a bar to our chest. Elbows come back. We're driving our hands to our armpits. Elbows are wide. And we're going to push with our palms facing forward out in front of us so our hands are extended out at shoulder height. Pulling and pushing. Nice work, everyone. Taking these at a pace again. That's right for you. I like to do this nice and slow so that we're really focusing on that core engagement. Push, pull, push, and release. Our next move is and our last move for this float is gonna be a seated balance hold. So you can have your heels on the floor, toes kind of up towards the sky a little bit. Hands are gonna go down by our sides, and we're just gonna kind of hold this position. If you'd like to challenge yourself a little bit, go ahead and lift those feet up off the floor. You'll notice that you'll lean back a little bit, but we more so are wanting to just kind of hold here. So leaning back slightly, engaging that core, heels are on the floor, toes are up off of the floor, hands are out wide to our sides. We're just gonna hold it here. Engage that core. Take nice deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. Kind of like we're doing that boat hold. And release. We'll go back to the top with our seated knee lift and hold, bringing our right knee up towards our chest, holding it here before we lower down. Maybe we're challenging ourselves a little bit and we're holding it longer than we did before. Maybe our legs coming up a little bit higher. Nice work, everyone. Bringing that knee up towards your chest, holding it there before we lower it. Working on those hip flexors. Nice work. Really focusing on that hold, engaging that core, bring that belly button in towards your spine. And rest. We'll bring it back into our seated dead bugs, leaning back a little bit. Arms are extending out in front of us at shoulder height. Heels are on the floor, toes are up. Extending opposite arm and opposite leg. Nice job, everyone. Right arm goes up, left leg kicks out, and switch. These ones are sneaky. You're like, oh, I got this. And we're like, really start to burn. But we're gonna give it all we've got for the next 20 seconds. Nice job, everyone. And in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and sit in that tall seated position. Hands are going to be on our knees. We're going to apply pressure to our knees while our knees press up on our hands. When we're doing that, we are engaging our core, holding it here for a few seconds before we're releasing. Try to get that hold as long as you can in between doing that. Nice job. You can hold it the whole time. Great. If you're needing breaks, that is also a-okay. Make sure that you're pressing up on your hands as hard as you can, pressing down your knees as hard as you can. You'll start to feel it in your calves, but focus on that core. Nice work. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Going into that push and pull. Feet flat on the floor. Hands are extended out in front of us at shoulder height. Put our hands in gentle fists. Pull our fists back to our armpits. Elbows go back. Put our open our hands, pushing forward with our palms facing forward, and then pulling back. Between push and pull, remember that we're sitting nice and tall. Trying to keep that line from our head down to our tailbone in a nice straight line. Nice work. And last one, we're gonna go ahead and get into that seated balance hold. So heels are on the ground, toes are up, hands are down at our sides, palms are facing forward. We're slightly leaning back, and we're gonna hold that here. Feel that engagement in that core.
Hi, can you repeat that pause?
What was that?
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, absolutely. So our heels are on the floor, our hands are down at our sides, so our toes are up, and we're gonna lean back where we can feel that stress on our core a little bit, and we're gonna hold it there and engage that core. So you're kind of leaning back, holding that position. Kind of like if we were in a low boat on the ground.
Thank you.
Absolutely. A few more seconds here. Nice job, everyone. Go ahead and relax. We're gonna go right into our second program, some water if you need one. We're gonna go into overhead press. We're gonna have our hands extending up all the way up overhead. Our hands are in line with our shoulders. Our hands are in gentle fists. And we're gonna pull down, and our elbows are gonna go out wide. And then we're gonna push back up. Hands coming down towards our shoulders, but we want to keep our elbows out wide. We're going to stop when our elbows are in line with our shoulders. We don't want to come all the way down, but we want to extend our arms up overhead, pulling down, stopping when our elbows are out wide, matching our shoulder height, and pushing back up. Nice work. This is our upper body flow. The whole time, make sure that we're still engaging that core, sitting nice and tall. And release. Our next move is going to be seated punches. These can be cross-body punches, punches forward at shoulder height. They can be lower punches outside of your right and left hip, or they can be vertical. They can be a mix of any. Doing a punch combo that you enjoy for our seated punches. I'm doing cross-body punches, punching my right arm across the body to the left, keeping my knees forward, but twisting at the shoulders so that I get that torso rotation in. Nice work, everyone. Nice work. All right, relax. We're gonna go ahead and bring it into our Ys and Ts from our YTWs. Arms are gonna extend up overhead. Hands are in line with our shoulders. Now we're gonna bring our hands a little bit wider for our Ys. We're gonna squeeze those shoulders. Hands are gonna go back slightly, about an inch. We're gonna release, bring them forward. You can do your Ys for a couple times, or you can go straight from your Y to your T. Extending your arms out into that T formation. Arms are extended right and left at shoulder height. Again, engaging those shoulder muscles, bringing our arms back about an inch and bringing them back forward. Back into that Y, down into that T. You can do multiple T's in a row and then follow with multiple Ys, whatever combination you would like. Taking breaks as needed. Feeling that burn in the shoulders and the arms. Nice work, everyone. I'm gonna shake my arms out and bringing it back up into my Ys. And relax. We'll bring it into bicep curls. We're gonna have our hands in gentle fists. We'll bend our elbows in. We'll tuck them towards our hips. We're gonna extend our fists down to our sides and bring them up towards our shoulders. So our hands are gonna start in those fists down at our hip, outside of our hips. Keeping our elbows tucked into our hips, we're gonna bend the elbows, bringing those fists up towards our shoulders, and then slowly lower them back down. Bringing them up and bringing them down. Engaging that bicep muscle, the front of that arm, your upper arm. Keeping those elbows really tucked into your sides. You can alternate your bicep curls or you can do them together. Relax. Arms are going to go into a T formation and we're going to do small forward circles. T formation circles are going to start forward and keeping them nice and small. You can extend them a little bit bigger if you would like, but we are doing them for a little while, so make sure that you're doing them at a pace that is circular and like the width of a circle that is best for you. We're gonna go ahead and switch direction. I'm gonna shake my arms out in between, extending those arms back in that T formation. We're gonna go small circles, arm circles backwards. Nice job, everyone. And relax. We're gonna bring it back to the top of our second flow again for our overhead press. Arms are gonna extend up overhead, put those hands in gentle fists. Bring those fists down. Our elbows are gonna extend wide, and we wanna make sure that they are stopping at shoulder height again. Pushing up, elbows are wide, in line with our shoulders like we are in our T formation, extending our arms back up overhead and pulling down for our overhead press. Again, we want to make sure that we are engaging that core so we're not rounding our spine or slouching at all. Sitting nice and tall, using that core for support. And shake those arms out and bring it into our seated punches. This time I'm going to do lower punches outside of my right and left hip. You can extend those into vertical punches, punches out at shoulder height out in front of you, cross-body punches. You can do a combination of them all, whatever is best for you. You get to choose it here. Nice job, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and bring it to our Ys and Ts, extending those arms up overhead, widening them out a little bit wider, pulling those arms back, engaging at the shoulder, feeling that those shoulder blades getting closer, and release.
And Elise, what's the difference between a Y and a W?
A Y and a W, great question. So in a Y, our arms are extended straight up overhead and a little bit wider. In a W, our elbows are down closer to our hips, so we have the bend in the elbow.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Switching back between our Ys and our Ts. Nice work, everyone. Keep it up here. Nice little shoulder engagement, and shake those arms out. We'll go ahead and do those bicep curls. Arms are starting down outside of our hips, keeping those elbows tucked into our hips, and flexing those biceps, bringing our elbows or our fists up to our shoulders. Really focus on the upper arm squeeze as you're bringing those elbows up. Your wrists up. Oh my goodness. Nice work, everyone. Great work, everyone. Keeping those arms flexing up towards our shoulders. And rest. We're gonna go ahead and bring it back into those seated arm circles, extending our arms out in that T formation, forward circles to start. Bringing our hands in small circles going forward at a pace that you like. Nice job, everyone. And we're halfway through, so let's go ahead and switch directions. The arms are extended out in that T formation, and we're going backwards now. Nice job, keeping it up here. Ten seconds left, give it all you got. And rest. I'm gonna grab a sip of water. We are halfway through the workout. Go ahead and shake those arms out. We are gonna move into our lower abs and lower body. We're gonna start by doing a seated leg lift, one at a time to start. So we'll give ourselves a 9-second rest here. Wait until we're at the bottom here. Alrighty, go ahead and extend that right leg out as high as you can, lowering it down. I like to start with both of my knees bent, feet flat on the floor, and extending that working leg. But you can have both of those legs extended out in front of you and just lift up from there if you would like as well. But we are doing a single leg lift. Nice job. Alternating here. Great work. Now that we are halfway through, if you would like to challenge yourself by lifting both of those legs up at the same time, go ahead and do that. If you would like to add a little bit more of a challenge but not double leg, go ahead and add that leg hold. So when you extend one leg up as high as you can, holding it at the top before you lower. I'm going to continue doing just the up and down motion. The leg lifts one at a time. Nice work, everyone. And rest. Knees are going to come back to bent, feet flat on the floor. We're gonna put our hands in fists and we're gonna put them in between our knees. So our fists are touching side to side, so our knuckles are facing forward. We're gonna put those in between our knees, so our right knee is closing in on the right side and our left knee is closing our fists in on the left side. And we're gonna go ahead and squeeze our fists together in between our knees with our knees. And we're gonna go ahead and hold that and release. We are gonna feel that on the outsides of our glutes and the insides of our thighs. Go ahead and squeeze and release. If it hurts too much on your fists, go ahead and you can use anything that's nearby, a pillow, a towel, a blanket, to kind of give a little bit extra cushion so you're not hurting yourself. If you also want to do these without your fists in between, where it's just your knees squeezing together, you're more than welcome to do that as well. I find the fists to be the easiest. Really squeeze in here, feeling that burn and releasing. Holding it as long as you can. And rest. Alrighty, we're gonna lean back. We're gonna hold onto our chairs if you can. Leaning back, we're gonna do a flutter kick. So our legs are gonna extend out in front of us, heels are on the floor, and we're gonna flutter our feet up and down. So when we're doing this, it's very small. So our right foot's gonna come up, our left foot's gonna come up as our right leg goes down. So kind of like a pendulum where one goes up, the other comes down. We're gonna try to keep our feet off the floor, but you're more than welcome to leave one on the floor in between. But we're gonna flutter kick our feet up and down while you are gonna lean back, and that is okay. We wanna make sure that we're being able to work the movement. So leaning back, flutter those feet extended straight out in front of you, holding onto the chair as needed, or we're resting our one foot on the floor in between. Nice work, everyone. And go ahead and rest. We're gonna go ahead and do seated knee tucks. We're gonna either do these one-legged or two-legged, but bringing our right knee up towards our chest as high as we can and lower, kind of like marches, but we wanna make sure that we're really trying to get that knee up towards our chest. We're gonna come down a little bit with our chest as we're doing that, or we're gonna bring both of our knees up to our chest, holding onto the sides of our chair for support as needed. Whatever is best for you. I like to do the single leg to start and try to challenge myself later with the double. But we're really just doing that marching seated knee tuck there, as high as we can get it. Nice work. And go ahead and relax. Next up and last up for this flow is going to be heel taps. Our knees are going to remain bent to start and feet flat on the floor. We're going to extend one leg out in front of us, touch our heel to the floor with our straight leg, bring it back. Left leg is going to extend out in front of us, heel is going to touch the floor so our leg is straight, and bring it back to that bent position, switching back and forth between right and left. Nice work, everyone. Nice job with those heel taps. We've got a few seconds left to go, and we'll go back to the top. And relax. We're gonna go ahead and bring it back to the top with our seated leg lifts, one at a time. Again, I like to hold on to the side of my chair or put my hands on my hips for support. And we're gonna extend one leg up, straight out in front of us as high as we can before we lower it to the floor and switch. This time I'm gonna extend both of my legs straight out in front of me. Feet are gonna be on the floor in between. It's just easier to lift the legs so it's just a single movement instead of having to extend it and then lift. Again, challenge yourself. You can do them together or add that hold at the top if you would like. And rest. We're going to go ahead and do this inner thigh squeezes, putting those fists together in between our knees, squeezing our knees together as tight or as hard as we can. Feeling that squeeze on our inner thighs there and releasing, or we're holding it as long as we can, whatever you would like to do. Focusing on that inner thigh there. And release. We're going to go ahead and bring it into that seated flutter kick. Hands are going to go on the sides of our chair, leaning back. We're going to extend our legs out in front of us straight, but our heels are going to start on the floor. Lifting those legs about an inch off the floor and flutter them up and down, back and forth. Taking breaks as needed. Really engaging that core there. Nice work. And relax. We're gonna go bring it into those seated knee tucks or those marches, whatever you would like to do. Bringing that right knee up towards our chest as high as we can before we lower it back down. And switching legs. Or we're doing both of those knees up towards our chest together for a little bit of a challenge. Or a lot of bit of a challenge, actually. Nice work, everyone. Nice work. And release. We'll go ahead and bring it into those heel taps. Extend, keeping our knees bent to start. Feet flat on the floor, extending our right leg out in front of us, touching that heel down to the floor and bringing it back. And switching, extending that left leg straight, tapping that heel on the floor before we bring it back into that starting position. Again, sitting nice and tall, no slouching here. Engage that core, belly button in towards the spine. Breathing through all of our exercises. This is our last move for our lower abs and body flow. Next up is going to be our obliques. Nice job, everyone. Almost there. And relax. Great work, everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a sip of water before we go into our obliques, if you would like to grab them as well. Alrighty. Our first move is going to be seated Russian twists. You guys still got about 15 seconds of rest before we get started. So go ahead and just rest. Alrighty. Going into our seated Russian twist. Our feet can either be flat on the floor or our heels can be on the floor with our toes up. We're gonna slightly lean back. Hands are gonna be together for this one. We're gonna bring both of our hands outside of our right hip, bringing them up and across, kind of like that rainbow motion to our left hip, outside of our left hip, bringing them across to our right, left, and kind of twisting our shoulders with it, but our knees are gonna stay facing forward. So we're really emphasizing that twist here, bringing our hands across to the outside of both hips. Nice job, everyone. Great work, and a few more here. Nice job. And release. We're gonna go ahead and do a side bend reach. Feet flat on the floor, knees are bent. With our right hand, we're gonna reach across our body up overhead to the left, kind of like we're doing a side bend stretch at the end of our workout. And then we're gonna bring our hand back down to our thigh. Left arm goes up overhead as we lean to the right. We're gonna go ahead and bring it back. Right arm goes across overhead to the left as we lean to the left, bringing it back, reaching across our body up overhead to the right with our left arm. We're doing that side bend stretch, but we're doing it nice and quick, really feeling that all on the outsides of our core here for that stretch, but on the inside as well for that little bit of a workout here, a little bit of a crunch. Moving through those side bend reaches. Similar motion, we're gonna bring it into wood chops. Hands are gonna be together, starting in the top right, extending both of our arms up and to the right, bringing our hands down to left hip, outside of left hip, up and to the right, down to left hip. And we're also gonna go up and to the left, bringing our arms down to the outside of right hip. So do some combination of the two, whether it's 5 one way and then 5 the other, or every other one, we're switching directions. But we're gonna go ahead and do wood chops. Top right to bottom left, and top left to bottom right. Just like we would be chopping wood. Nice work, everyone. Almost through here. And relax. We're gonna go ahead and bring it into a high knee core twist. Hands are gonna come up overhead, so our hands are behind our ears, elbows are out wide. We're gonna go ahead and bring our left knee up towards our chest, bringing down our right elbow to meet our left knee. Sitting nice and tall, right knee comes up, left elbow comes down and across to meet it. It's okay if they do not touch. Our goal is just to kind of move through that crunch here. High knees with an elbow coming down across to touch it. And having our hands behind our head is too much for our shoulders or anything, just go ahead and bring our hands to tap the top of our knees as they're coming up. Make sure we're not pulling on our necks at all, just here for guidance. And go ahead and rest. We're gonna bring it into our figure 8 hands. Our hands are gonna be interlaced together, so we're gonna hold our own hand, extending our arms out at shoulder height, bring our hand down to the left, up to the left, across down to the right, up to the right, and down across the left. So we're making a figure 8 or a sideways 8 with our hands. Sitting nice and tall, engaging that core. This can be as big or as small as you would like. Nice work, everyone. Keep it going. And rest. Nice work. We're gonna go back to the top and go through one more time. For our seated Russian twists, we're leaning back a little bit. Our feet are on the floor, heels are on the floor, our toes are up. Our hands are together, reaching outside of our right hip. Bringing our hands up across and over to the left outside of our hip. Kind of like that rainbow motion, left and right. Our shoulders are gonna twist, but our knees and our hips are gonna face forward. Nice work. Keep doing these a pace that's best for you. Maybe we're speeding them up a little bit for a challenge. Maybe we're doing them slower, really focusing on that core engagement. However you are doing it is perfect. Nice work, everyone. Nice work, and rest. We're gonna go ahead and bring it into that side bend reach. Our right hand is gonna come up, across, overhead our body, and we're gonna lean to the left like we're doing that side bend stretch. We're gonna move through that motion instead of holding it there. Switching back and forth, we're dropping that opposite shoulder, really feeling that crunch and that stretch. Nice work, everyone. More seconds. And nice work. We're gonna go ahead and bring it into those wood chops. You can do, I will indicate what the 30-second mark is if you would like to do one and then the other. I'm gonna do right, down to left to start, but it's okay to do a combination of the two as well, whatever you would like. Wood chop, nice job. Bringing our arms up and to the right and down to the left. And that is the 30-second mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch from the top left down to the bottom right. You wanna make sure this movement is nice and big, really extending as far as we can up into the left and down to the bottom right. And nice work. We'll bring it into our high knee core twists. Hands are behind our ears, elbows extended out shoulder height. We're gonna go ahead and bring our right elbow down to meet left knee as it comes up to our chest and switch. Opposite elbow, opposite knee. Again, if having your hands up behind your ears is too much, just go ahead and have both of your hands together, tapping the top of that knee that's coming up. Nice work, everyone. You're over halfway through. And rest. We're gonna bring it into our figure eight hands for our last movement for today. Our hands are interlaced together, extending our arms out in front of us at shoulder height, and doing that sideways eight or figure eight motion, bringing our hands together, down to the left, up to the left, down across to the right, and up to the right and across. Nice work. Nice little shoulder activation here. Engaging that core, belly button comes into the spine, sitting nice and tall. We are halfway through. take breaks as needed. I'm gonna shake my arms out here and get right back into it. Nice work, everyone. Almost there. 10 seconds left. And rest. I'm gonna go ahead and turn our relaxation music, cool down music on. We have made it to the end of that workout. Go ahead and grab a sip of water if you would like. I will be grabbing one. Shaking out our arms. Taking nice deep breaths in. And go ahead and bring it into a seated forward fold, extending our legs out in front of us. You can do a wide leg forward fold or a standard forward fold. Legs are extended out in front of us. Hands are going to trace down our legs and try to reach towards our ankles. Feeling that stretch all through the back sides of our legs. As we're doing our stretches, make sure that we're breathing through it, taking deep breaths in through our nose, out through our mouth. Try to deepen that stretch each breath. And sitting up, we're gonna bring it into some cat-cows. Feet are flat on the floor, knees are bent. Hands are on our knees, taking that nice deep breath in. Spine goes back, chin tucks into chest. On the exhale, we are pushing our chest through, head faces forward. Belly button goes forward as well, rounding out that back. Deep breath in, spine goes back, nice round back here. Chin comes into chest. And go ahead and take these at your own pace with each one of your breaths. Bringing it into a side stretch, dropping our left shoulder down, reaching our right hand up and over to the left. I like to have my forearms resting on my thighs, so my left arm is resting on my left leg right now. So I can really focus on feeling that stretch all through the right side of my body. Switching sides, left arm goes up overhead to the right. Dropping that right shoulder down, feeling that stretch through the left side of our body. And switch one more time. Right arm comes up overhead across to the left. Switching back over left overhead to the right. We're going to bring them into the spinal twists again. Arms can get out in that T formation or hands in front of you like you are rocking a baby or holding a baby. We're going to bring our shoulders, turning our torso to the right, getting that gentle spine mobility in and across the left. Our knees are going to remain facing forward. Just the movement in our upper body. Adding some gentle spine twists here, stretching out that spine. And relax. We're gonna bring it into our neck, bring our chin down to our chest, bringing our left ear to our left shoulder, holding it here, stretching out the right side of our neck. Chin goes down to chest as we roll across to the right ear to right shoulder, stretching out the left side of our neck. And go ahead and roll back and forth. in our half back circles at your own pace, stopping anywhere that feels good and needs a good stretch. A few more. And sitting nice and tall, we're gonna bring our legs extended straight out in front of us and then widen them for a wide leg forward fold, reaching our arms down into that middle space, feeling that stretch to the backside of both of our legs. We're gonna hold it here for a few seconds. We're gonna walk our hands over to our right leg, trying to reach our right ankle or toes, feeling that stretch to the backside of just our right leg now. Walking our hands back to the middle, feeling that stretch through the back of both of our legs, and continue walking our hands across to the left, feeling that stretch through the backside of our left leg. And bring it back to a seated position. Feet together, knees are together. We're gonna drop both of our knees down to the right for some windshield wipers. Feeling that stretch through our lower back and our legs here. Bringing them across and down to the left, keeping our knees together. As we're doing this, you wanna sit towards the edge of your chair so you're able to get a little bit more of that motion. And we're just gonna switch back and forth, dropping both of our knees to the right, bringing them across and dropping them to the left, and vice versa. Last thing we're gonna do is sit nice and tall. Hands are down on your sides, palms are facing forward. We're gonna take 3 deep breaths in. Hands are gonna extend out wide, up overhead on the inhale. Extending our arms and pushing them up towards the ceiling, holding here, and exhaling, bringing our hands back down to our sides. 2 more, inhale. Hold at the top, reaching up towards the sky, and exhaling, bringing our hands back down. Last one. Hands out wide, up overhead, holding here, and exhaling. I'm gonna go ahead and end the recording here.